We're talking about Nigeria. Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria is in crisis. What can be done? What should be done? What actually is the problem? Where are the injuries? When you talk about growing nation, a developed nation, a functional nation, and a struggling nation, what are the things that make a nation great? Something is about the population, it's about the oil, and it's about the sentiment. That's why they say Nigeria, the most populous black African nation. Does that make greatness? No, it is not sentiment. It is not hyping. It is the system. A great nation, a functional nation, will have a functional system, effective system that establishes that nobody is above the law, equality before the law. And that law pervades every area of the nation, because the courts are the arbiter of all, whether from other establishments. Everything comes to the court under the law of the land, the constitution of the land. But if this is not handled, any leader will fail. So let there be a functional legal system where all the leaders are accountable. That is what makes other nations to count, like Britain, the US, Singapore, and so many others. Nobody is above the law. So this is very important. Number two is infrastructure. Infrastructure is power. All great developing and functional nations invest in infrastructure. Functional road system that connects major cities and towns, connect the cities to the productive areas like the farms, how they get the products to the marketplace, and to get the products from there to where they be transported outside the country if it's for export. Functional system with effective transportation, that is key. Then we have a good health care system, clean water, reliable internet. These are factors, infrastructure that may be readily available. Then the other one is human capital. A growing nation, a functional nation invests heavily in our people. Functional and effective education with appropriate infrastructures in every place. What we used to call it instructional materials. But what happens in Nigeria now? The education system has been desecrated, sabotage. The science laboratories are something else. Engineering faculties are something else. So this is very, very important. Then accessible and affordable healthcare system is very, very important. Key infrastructure that must be available. The skills development in entrepreneurship is very, very important. Say Nigeria is bleeding. You can see where it started from. When Governor Lateef Jakode was in Lagos, because he saw this with foresight, he took some Nigerians to Eastern Europe and they trained them in this time, and he brought in these machines, they call it Introtech, and everything functional. But this was desecrated. So the human capital will need to be developed. If you don't build the people, you don't expect the nation to grow. So we have the economic reality. Now we have mono economy dependent on oil. And what happens? The oil sector was greatly sabotaged. The corrupt politicians just share the oil blocks among themselves and they were doing whatever they like with it. So, but if the economy had been multifaceted, then things will not be the way they are now. What's happened to the cocoa industry, the granite pyramids of the north, the cotton fields, the rubber factory in the middle belt? the rubber plantation in Ogun State, Ikene, the palm oil plantation in Edo State. What's happening? So dependency weakens a nation. Then finally we have unity and the national vision. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. And here we are in Nigeria. Ethnic, religious, political divide and rule rules in every place. When we are growing up, it wasn't like that. That's why the national anthem says, "Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labours of our heroes past shall never be, to serve without a mind, a nation bound in freedom, peace and unity." That has been our song. That has been our belief. Until the desecrators came in and they said that national anthem, they don't want it again. They were now saying Nigeria, their native land. Why they changed that other one, I wouldn't know. So now, people are being put against themselves, like in Lagos, they say Igbos against Yorubas, the Hausas against Yoruba, Fulani against Yoruba. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. So a nation that wants to grow, you can see we are bleeding. Our bleedings came from. The next video, which we shall share tomorrow by God's grace, we'll be talking about solutions. What are the steps that need to be taken to stop this bleeding so that life can be restored to the nation and the nation can start to live and start to grow. Now the nation is in crisis, is dying. So imagine our politicians went to Britain, UK, said they went for a state visit, and Nigeria was burning. Lives were lost in Makurdi. I just learned now that in Niger again, the military men were ambushed and many soldiers were killed. They were set up, and even we didn't hear anything from the presidency. I saw the video of the governor visiting the place. All they do is talk, Jojo. Soldiers, gallant soldiers, they were slaughtered by hooligans, by enemies of the nation. And everything just going on as usual, as if it's just a cockroach that was killed. That is it. Nigeria is bleeding, but by God's grace, we shall overcome. Like the song of those days, we shall overcome, we shall overcome. So what shall we do? What should you do? Give thumbs up. If it resonates with you, share your comments in the comment section. The story cannot continue like this, definitely. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed so that we can share more. God bless you. Take care.